This next example comes more from my head than the book because the book lacks a little bit of examples related to this, yet they ask homework questions related to this. And so since it's important, I thought I would do one on my own. And what you're seeing here is very similar to example 1. This is the alternate example for example 1. In this case, instead of doing the operations just with X, we're going to go ahead and do the operations with numbers. I think it's more relevant to things and how we'll see things in the future, so it's good that we go over this. So let's go on, jump on this one. We're going to do the same operations we did with example 1. Instead of doing X, though, we're going to do numbers. So in the first one, we're going to do F plus G, not of X, but of 2 this time. So that's going to mean F of 2 plus G of 2. And so the way we want to attack this is we want to do it kind of separately. We want to come over here and we want to say, what does F of 2 equal? And that is us putting 2 in for X. In other words, for us, that means we'd have 2 cubed, otherwise known as 8. So we can come back to this problem and say that means it equals 8, as in the F of 2 is equal to 8, plus, now we do the G of 2. And G of 2 is 2 minus 1, otherwise known as 1. And so we're going to have 1 here, and we know that 8 plus 1 equals 9. And so F plus G of 2 equals 9. Pretty slick that way. It's a lot more fun when you have numbers. As I like to say, numbers in, number out. X in, equation out. That's kind of the way we work with things. So let's go to the next one here. Let's do F minus G of negative 3. All right, so for us, that means F of negative 3 minus G of negative 3. All right, so once again, we're going to sidebar it over here, and we're going to say, first of all, what is F of negative 3? That means negative 3 to the third power for us, which is going to be 3 times 3 times 3, otherwise known as negative 27. And so we'll come back over here, and we'll say that this is negative 27, and then minus, because it is F of negative 3 minus G of negative 3. And then we'll come back over here and we'll say, well, what is G of negative 3? Well, that's going to be negative 3 as our X minus 1, getting from the G of X equation here. And negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. And that's what we'll stick over here is negative 4. I look like I'm using a parenthesis here, and I do need to do that because there are 2 negatives here. Remember, 2 negatives make a positives, so this is much like saying negative 27 plus 4, so our final answer is going to be negative 23 on this one. Again, number in, number out. Best to do it as a sidebar. Don't try to do it all at once. Not that you can't, it's just that you shouldn't. Most people who do it all at once tend to mess something up, so it's just easier to do your work of your F and your G on the side and then bring those back to the equation. All right, our next one we're going to do is F times G of my favorite number, 7. Which is going to give us F of 7 times G of 7. All right, so back over to our sidebar area, we're going to do F of 7, which is 7 cubed. That's quite a large number. It's 343. So we'll put that right here, 343 times, back over here, G of 7 is going to give us 7 minus 1, otherwise known as 6. And so we're going to have 343 times 6. According to our trusty calculator here, the answer is 2,058. So far we've had 9. Let's put a line underneath that one. We've had negative 23. And now we've had 2,058. Terrific stuff here. All right, so let's do the last one. F divided by G. And let's do our old friend 0 on this one. So that is going to give us F of 0 divided by G of 0. We're running out of room in the sidebar area, so we'll just go below. Let's go ahead and do F of 0 right here. So that means that we're going to have 0 cubed. And 0 cubed is still 0. So our numerator is 0. So it's looking like the answer may be 0, but we do need to verify that the denominator isn't 0. And so if we look at g of 0, we're going to have 0 minus 1, which of course is negative 1, meaning that our denominator isn't 0. But 0 divided by anything other than 0 is indeed 0. And so there's our final answer there of 0. So a number goes in, a number comes out, a x goes in like we did with the regular example 1, and an equation comes out. Hopefully you'll find that this alternate is a little more fun to do because you get a real numeric answer at the end.